Weltmeisterschaft im Alexandra Palace bis ins Achtelfinale geschafft. Herzlich willkommen dem Samurai Tony Alcinas. Tony Alcinas nimmt es auf mit dem BDO WM-Finalisten aus 2014. 3 PDC-Titel hat er einfahren können in seiner Zeit bei der PDC. Unter anderem war auch ein Erfolg auf der European Tour mit dabei. Aktuell ist er die Nummer 16 der Welt. Herzlich willkommen, Alan Chuck Norris.
Dave Chisnell, Kim Huybrechts, Mervyn King, Kyle Anderson and Simon Whitlock all out this afternoon. Well done to anyone who had 10 pence on that run of results. And let's see if the Spaniard Tony Alcinas can continue this quite incredible run by chucking out Chuck Norris here in Munich. Alan Norris, of course, a winner on the European Tour. But it has been quite remarkable so far, Dan Dawson.
Well, it has, and to be honest, of all the seeded players, Alan Norris has one of the poorest records as a seed, because last year, out of the 12 tournaments, he lost half of his games at this stage, meaning he didn't pick up ranking money. Now, he started off by winning his opening game of the tournament last weekend as a seeded player, proudly announcing that he's back playing good darts, back playing without any pain. He had problems with his hands and wrists.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg, Tony to throw first. Game on.
But we could genuinely, I mean, Darrell Gurney's not got the most fantastic record as a seed in the Euro Tour either. He went out at this stage
100
last week in Leverkusen. We could see all 8 of the seeded players dumped out in an incredible session of European Tour darts. I mean, we could see every single seeded player knocked out. I mean, it's a possibility.
Any outcome is possible,
no matter how unlikely it may seem. I mean, even if that did happen and all 16 seeded players went out today, it wouldn't even guarantee there'd be a new winner on the Euro Tour, because James Wade has won one of these before. In fact, he's won 2. And there are plenty of guys in the unseeded ranks who've won PDC titles.
Yeah, and it hasn't been a complete capitulation from the seeded players. It's taken some inspired performances. We saw Darren Webster use 36 darts in his last 3 legs to see off Dave Chisnell. Keegan Brown has just used 35 in his last 3 legs to defeat Simon Whitlock, in average, the best he'd ever averaged on a stage.
Yeah. Wikipedia coming up with that little nugget of Keegan Brown's best stage average.
44.
I think it might be time for some kind of look into which tournament saw the most seeds depart at the first possible stage, because this has got to be up there already.
Yeah, with 10 games to go. Decent start though from Norris. 400 scored in 4 visits to the board, which leaves him 101. Tops.
Games on the first leg.
Stuff.
Alan Norris. Second leg, Alan to throw first. Game on.
Norris beat Jermaine Wattermainer last weekend and then ran into Michael van Gerwen, and as we've mentioned throughout the course of today, the seedings are exactly the same. Now, it seemingly doesn't matter because none of them are winning. But that is the potential second round clash.
Yeah, well, looked like it had a really sort of reminiscent feel from last week. Completely out the window because all the seeded players are losing. But he actually gave MVG a bit of an examination in the early stages of that game as well, and he came away feeling pretty upbeat in general, because it was a very frustrating experience last year, Alan Norris, on the European Tour. But he is a mercurial player anyway, isn't he? I mean, Alan Norris,
85.
some days, looks like he's not really going to threaten to challenge for the title, and some days he can just carve his way through the field, and you see that when you look at his results this year.
Yeah, 7 times he's lost in the first round, or his first round of the tournament so far in 2018. He has had a couple of runs to the last 16. Of course, one of those, you say run, that's winning 1 match last weekend, but
96. Alan, you acquire 40.
Yeah, so he's due, is what we're saying.
Game shot the second leg.
And a 13 darter.
Tony to throw first. Game off.
2 out of 2 on double top. Not a bad start for Chuck.
Certainly not, but it wasn't a bad start for Simon Whitlock, who led 3-0
97
against Keegan Brown, and then Brown really turned on the style.
Yeah, you make a compelling point.
140.
I mean, although it has worked a couple of times today, though, I wouldn't recommend as your plan A, go behind in a game and then win the last 3 legs in 3 dozen darts.
Well, Tony Alcinas is turning on some style of his own here.
100.
He was helped by the fact that James Wilson often only had 2 scoring darts in visits yesterday in his 6-2 victory over the Lethal Biscuit.
82.
Yeah, it was a very strange game, that, wasn't it? He won it 6-2. He was had a slightly lower average than James Wilson, who was, must have had hundreds of points on the floor.
142 the target, not going to go, so Alan Norris has a chance to mirror what Simon Whitlock did in the previous match and take a 3-leg lead. Needs treble 17 for a dart at the bull. He's not going to get one.
97. Tony require 82.
Tony should look at the bullseye first dart. Okay, the 18 it will be then. So it's got to be 14 and bull.
Alan Norris didn't watch any of that.
Alan, you require 24.
So he will have been pleased to hear the call of Hugh Ware.
Game shot the 3rd leg.
And he'll be equally pleased to hear that one. Game shot and the 3rd leg, and Alan Norris is halfway into the 2nd round.
And that was a breaker throw as well, so 3-0 up with 2 breaks of throw. Alan Norris has gone 15 darter, 13 darter, 13 darter. This is threatening to be a big, big display from the big man.
3rd round, it's Alan Norris's first match, of course, in the tournament.
140. 43.
Going into this leg, average of 106.5, Alan Norris. Really is a big display.
140. 45.
Well, that's being diluted somewhat in this leg. And Tony Alcinas in pole position to break straight back.
26.
Not much help to him, but Norris isn't going to leave a finish from here.
Well, he got himself so fired up there that he dropped his dart, Alan Norris, as he was shouting, "Come on." But he's another player who likes to
97.
get himself all worked up, doesn't he, Alan Norris, to play his best stuff.
He's shy and retiring are not 2 words you would associate with Alan Chuck Norris.
133. Tony required 98.
Now then, Norris might nick this one away from him when he's
40.
plodding around at the back of the stage, cycling himself up. We see the old swing of the arms.
Some shots of 82 and 98. Tony Alcinas has only managed to get 1 dart at the bullseye. Alan Norris
80. Tony required
has handed him for what should be a couple of darts at a more favourable double. That's double top.
Game shot the 4th leg. Tony Alcinas.
And he finds it, and the chance for a
5th leg, Tony
turning tide
game on.
presented itself once again.
Yeah, well, There's a breaker throw as well, and Tony can at least tell himself that when he scores well enough to get to a double, the doubles are all right. The outer ring is all right, at any rate. Not anywhere near the bullseye when he's had a go at it.
60.
He was saying yesterday he thought it was his first ever win on the European Tour, but it wasn't, was it? It was just so long ago that he can't remember it.
One in Gibraltar. Gibraltar Darts Trophy a few years back. But yeah, we're right. It's been a long while between drinks for Tony Alcinas.
$60.
3,000 fans here at the Zenith venue in Munich.
Many of them in Easter-themed fancy dress. A few bunnies in the crowd, and most of them delighted when Hoff won.
Wow.
55.
Well, Norris leaves the 151, and Alan Norris is Alan Norris. So what route he's going to end up going for, this is anybody's guess.
151.
Looking to start on the treble 17.
79.
107 then for Tony Alcinas to claw his way back into contention. He's got the treble out of the way. He landed double top the only time he went
87.
for it, but not on this occasion.
Alan, you require 72.
16s then. Another one of those. Leaves him tops.
32. Tony, you require 20.
Well, he was flawless on tops in the opening couple of legs, but he's starting to miss.
Can he slide one alongside?
10.
I thought he perhaps should have moved there. I mean, look, we can't judge as well as they can when they're stood on the hockey, but it did look awkward, that second dart. Seemed to be kicking over and covering some of the bed, and he shakes his head, Tony Alcinas, because he's offered this up to Alan Norris on a platter.
On the fifth leg, Alan Norris. Sixth leg, Alan to throw fist. Game on.
Yeah, Norris does not decline the invitation. 2 legs away from being the first seed, as it would happen. He's the lowest seed in the tournament.
137.
One more match to go after this one in the afternoon session. Daryl Gurney takes on Ryan Meikle. Then this evening, you will see the likes of Michael van
60.
Gerwen, who will take on one of yesterday's top performers in Steve Lennon. We've also got Peter Wright facing Josh Payne, Michael Smith against Chris Dobie. That could be an absolute classic Euro Tour match. And of course the world champion Rob Cross closing the show today against a man who's got a winning record against him in Johnny Clayton.
121. $105.
Well, Chuck leaves the 170. Just me enjoying himself, Alan Norris.
43. Alan,
sporting a beaten-esque tan after a spell in South Africa. Go on, go for it.
145.
Certainly enjoying himself.
Yeah, really good to see. As you said before, one of those players who
100.
has got the
Alan, you require
potential
25.
to be a real contender in these events. Won one before.
Games on the sixth leg. Alan Norris. Seventh leg, Tony to throw fist. Game on.
Yeah, he's a real accumulator wrecker, is Alan Norris, because you've just got no idea whether he's going to be the world-class Chuck Norris or the Alan Norris who lost half of his opening games on the Euro Tour last year. And as you say, what was it? How many first-round exits has he had this year on the Pro Tour? 7?
7, yes, 7 this year.
7 first-round exits on the Pro Tour. I mean, that's only from 12 events. It's one day he turns up, he's brilliant. One day he turns up and he's not. and you're not really sure which one it's going to be. I'm not sure Alan is.
58.
But the thing is that high ceiling of performance, the fact that he can do it, and he does do it every now and again.
100.
And it's not one-off, that Euro Tour win. I mean, he won a PDC title very quickly after moving over from the BDO. And followed it up with the Euro Tour in 2016. Got another title last year. He's picking up one a year, essentially. Well, you kind of half expect Alan Norris at some point in 2018 to get another PDC title.
100.
Yep, certainly sure he's got the game. Which the BDO World Championship final, of course, was beaten
85.
by Stephen Bunting, who we will see tonight against Ian White, a man who is a very recent PDC title winner. Alan Norris, the last man to be a new European Tour winner. Didn't have
98.
one in the whole of 2017. We've got 13 events to try and get at least one this year.
138. Tony requires 76.
This might have to go, Tony. Single 16. One dart at tops.
36.
And it's high, and that means that Norris should get a match dart. Now, does he go on
Alan
the 20s? Does he go at the
90.
ball? What does he do? He's Alan Norris. You can't predict when he's going to play well. You can't predict what route he's going to go. The ball is hit. And Alan Norris, the first seeded player through, the man with the tan, dishes out a tanning to Tony Alcinas. 6-1, emphatic. Certainly in terms of the scoreline. 93 and a bit average from Chuck Norris, safely through. It could be another clash with the world #1 Michael van Gerwen, but awaits him tomorrow afternoon in the last 16. That is conditional on MVG overcoming Steve Lennon tonight, of course. You've got one more game for you this afternoon. Ryan Meikle, the barber, takes on Super Chin Daryl Gurney. Gurney, a couple of big wins in the Premier League, but a disappointing campaign last weekend on the European Tour. Looking to put things right here in Germany this weekend.
Das waren die einzigen 3 Wörter, die Ellen gerade verstanden hat. Michael van Gerwen. Alan, congratulations. You looked happy, actually, after the last start.
Yeah, life's good. Yeah, practice is good. Getting back on track. Good games last week. Yeah, I lost to Michael last week. See what's going to happen this week, won't we?
Yeah, I just said probably you're going to get Michael van Gerwen next. It's a good thing to be seeded, but once you're seeded 16, you will meet #1 in the 3rd round.
Yeah, but you've got to beat the best to be the best, haven't you? So, and at the end of the day, Michael's still got to win that game. The standard of darts is that high with everybody. It's all on the day. So, you know, we've got a great crowd here.
Isn't that a great crowd? Huh? Yeah. European Tour in Munich?
Oh, not bad. They could be louder, couldn't they?
Es könnte ein bisschen lauter sein, mein Alan Norris. Ist das eine tolle Stimmung hier?
They're great. German crowds are great. We have a great time over here. So, yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Alan Norris. Es ist manchmal so einfach, Menschen glücklich zu machen. Alan Norris sagt, es läuft gut zuletzt. Mal sehen, ob Michael van Gerwen überhaupt dann sein Gegner morgen sein wird.